I was on Accutane in 2022 and I was pregnant. Like, the birth defects that it could cause are crazy. The less people knew about the pregnancy, the less I'd have to explain why I'm no longer pregnant. Nobody told me before I had this procedure done how much teeth whitening could fade. So then the second pull company came back with $47,000. I surpassed my pre-pregnancy weight. I did something that I thought I could never do. I've been reading. I was so sad. I cried when I finished it. Like, I can't even tell you how much makeup I've bought and I didn't even really play with. I just don't want clutter. I can't actually tell you guys how many times I've started this camera and tried to do this over and over again. It's really not that serious, but it's just been a minute since I've been on the camera, like actually face to face. I think the last actual video I did was a vlog back in April. And since then it's just been like YouTube shorts, so nothing that I've had to formally sit down and film. So I'm not really playing with anything new that's just came out, but something that is newer to me that I received on Mother's Day that I actually haven't even touched yet. My sister-in-law got this for me. It's the Disney Minnie Mouse Blusher Duo. It's by Makeup Revolution. It's just this cute little Minnie Mouse blush, super pretty. And then she also got me the Winnie the Pooh eyeshadow palette. This is by Taste Beauty. This is the palette. It's so cute, so pretty, a lot of pastels. For primer, I'm just gonna go in with the Mini e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I'm actually almost out of this. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm thinking about getting a new camera soon, maybe around Christmas, and hopefully one that I can plug in my microphone and the audio will just go straight to the camera and I can upload it all onto the computer. Because with this camera, I can't plug in my microphone. I have to upload the audio separate, and that's just a pain in the butt for me to try to match the audio with the video. Everything I use I'll link down in the description box below at your convenience if you want to check it out. I did have a comment, I think it was the end of last year, and they just basically said that it would be nice if I would share in the video what I'm using. And I don't always do that, but I do, I think, always list what I'm using down in the description box below. So if I don't mention it in the video, go check that if you're curious as to what I'm using. So right now I'm going in with the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. This is my absolute favorite. I have oily skin. I'm not currently on Accutane right now. I'm getting back on it soon. I was on Accutane in 2022. I think I was on Accutane from like February to May. Either April or May, so a few months. I was just never scheduled to come back in. Like, I don't know why I didn't call and reschedule to come back in, but I just didn't. My acne started coming back about July, and it was really bothering me by August, so I made another appointment to come in. I was scheduled to come in September, and I was scheduled to get on it in October. You have to wait like 30 days, I believe, after your first appointment. They have to give you at least for women, they have to give you a pregnancy test and do some blood work. And once all that comes in and looks great, I believe the second time you come in, they give you another pregnancy test, and then you're able to go pick up your prescription. I think it's been like 2 years. But I did just go and have my pregnancy test done. I just had my blood work done. I go back in now 28 days. The side effects that I had personally with Accutane the first time I was on it was really dry lips. It was uncomfortable because literally every day I was picking and peeling my lips. It was really gross, and I had really bad achy joints. Even after I got off of it, like, I still had achy joints for a while. The second time I got on it, I was only on it for 2 weeks when I got it that October. I didn't notice the dry lips though, I guess because I wasn't on it that much. I also found out I was pregnant. That's why I got off of Accutane. See, I had my blood work and my pregnancy test done at the beginning of October. They gave me the go-ahead to get on it. I picked up my prescription. I ended up not getting on it right away. I went to go see family, and then when I got back, I got on it. So it was like the end of the second week of October, and I ended up also getting sick. And I stayed sick for the full 2 weeks that I was on Accutane. So I ended up going to the doctor. I went to Fast Pace. They asked me, am I pregnant? And I told them I didn't think so. I shouldn't be because I'm on Accutane, but they never actually tested me. And just something about the way she just looked at me when I told her I don't think so just made me feel like I should take a pregnancy test that night, and I did, and I was pregnant. So from there on, once I actually got to see my OBGYN, I was considered a high-risk pregnancy because you're not supposed to get pregnant, period, on Accutane. There's forms you have to sign every month consenting to taking 2 types of birth control. It goes over the risks and the complications of getting pregnant while on Accutane. It's crazy. This medication is serious stuff. Like, the birth defects that it could cause are crazy. Even just being on it 2 weeks could be very severe. It could have very severe consequences. So the whole pregnancy I was high risk, which is pretty scary. And luckily my baby girl, she just turned 1 last month, so she's healthy. Everything was fine. But just not knowing and choosing to stay in a pregnancy that could potentially not end well is very stressful. The doctor I was seeing was great. He was awesome. He told me if I chose not to go through with it, he would make sure to give me all the information I needed to terminate the pregnancy if that was what I chose, or if I needed to. He would make sure that I was taken care of. He just made me feel comfortable about the whole thing, whether I chose to keep the baby or not. I'm very grateful to the doctor that I had on that journey. I have a little Accutane baby is what I call her. She's healthy, she's happy. She's got such a little attitude. Her personality's so big. And she's a mommy's girl, which I love. I didn't really document that pregnancy. I didn't talk much about that pregnancy at all. I think just because I was afraid if something did go wrong, the less people knew about the pregnancy, the less I'd have to explain why I'm no longer pregnant. But everything's good. The pregnancy was good. I had another C-section. I don't know if I ever talked about that because, again, I didn't document that pregnancy. I kind of did with my son, or at least I updated you on like the first, second, and third trimester, what's in my hospital bag. I just did little videos here and there about that pregnancy with my son. And then again, I got pregnant with my daughter, and I was scared, and I just didn't want to talk about it. I did have another C-section. This one was a scheduled C-section with my son. I went in on a Monday, and by Wednesday I did have to have a C-section. They tried to get me to have a natural, but I wouldn't dilate past a 4. So once I found out with my daughter, there was no concerns that the doctor could at least see through the ultrasound, we opted for a C-section, and it just went so smooth. We showed up on a Thursday, and I think we had to be there at 8 by 8:30, and it was by 12:30. They cut her out of me. It was great. I got to go home Saturday morning. Whereas with my son, because I did sit in the hospital for 2.5 days waiting to have him before they actually took him out of me, we didn't leave till Friday afternoon. I'm not one to regret not being able to have my kids natural. You know, it is what it is. They're here, they're healthy, and that's all that matters. But honestly, when I look back, I wouldn't have it any other way, if that makes sense. So I got my eyebrows done. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the palette. All the shadows that I use will be linked down in the description box below at your convenience. I actually tried to sit down and do a chit chat get ready with me a while back. I think it was June, early June. And I ended up deleting it. It just wasn't a vibe. So anyway, one of the things that I remember talking about was my teeth whitening experience. I don't think you can really tell on camera, but I actually had my teeth whitened back in May. I think it was like mid-May. And my husband so kindly paid for that and got me teeth whitening. I think it was for Mother's Day. Like, nobody told me before I had this procedure done how much teeth whitening could fade. When I Googled it, it said that it is common for your teeth to fade after getting them whitened. I guess that's why they send you home with the touch-up kit. But yeah, I didn't realize they would fade that much. I ended up getting zoom whitening. I wanted laser whitening, but the dentist that I went to didn't offer that. They only had zoom. And I think the only difference is that laser focuses on each individual tooth, whereas the zoom, it's like they painted on. You have like a plastic piece in your mouth that's holding your lips back so they could see your teeth. And then you have like a UV light, or a blue light, I'm sorry, sitting in your mouth. And there's 4 rounds of the zoom. I was only able to do 3 because of the sensitivity, but each treatment is 15 minutes long. I think I was there, the whole process took me like 1 hour and 30 minutes because of paperwork and whatever. I had to wait, I think it was 48 hours to eat anything dark, like coffee or spaghetti or anything like that that was known to stain teeth, I had to wait. And I did, and I even pushed it an extra day, but they still faded. Yeah, I was a little bummed when that happened, especially because you pay all that money to get it done and then they fade. Now that it's been 2 months, they look pretty much like they did before I got it done. I guess there's really no point in being secretive about the price. We did pay $500 for it, which is a lot of money, like I said. And again, it just faded so quickly. Whenever I use the kit that they sent me, they look pretty good after the 7 days of using it. But I don't know. It still bothers me when I think about it. So my husband and I got this impulsive urge literally a month ago to look into getting an in-ground swimming pool. Okay, so we got a hold of 2 pool companies. I don't know if I should say the company names, but they're 2 well-known companies. You could probably definitely guess the first one. We got our quotes and we were going to go with the 12 by 24 in-ground pool. And that, from my understanding, isn't the average pool size. So the first company that got back with us said that they can actually beat the other pool company's price, and they did. Not by much, but the first pool company came back with $41,000 for a pool. So then the second pool company came back and their quote was $47,000, and they also threw in I think it was called a safety pool cover and the vacuum to vacuum out the pool. You guys, those prices are just like, wow. It's crazy, right? Some people don't even make that in a year. Those are down payments on houses. You know, that's the price of a brand new car. So of course we went with it. No, I'm just kidding. But we turned them down and we realized that it was an impulsive decision, especially because we're not going to be living here that long. Yeah, it was just wild what they were going to charge for a pool. And maybe things would be different if this was our forever home. Maybe. I did a simple look today, nothing crazy. I'm only getting ready to go take it off in the next 30 minutes, so I didn't want to like spend too long on my makeup, but I really like the palette so far. It's really cute. So now I'm going to go in with that blush. So cute. So I'm still on my weight loss journey. It's slowing down and I don't know. I'm still losing weight, but I keep hitting weight loss plateaus. And we actually just went to see family recently, so I actually went up 2 pounds because we ate good food and I ate a lot of food. I think I'm gonna go in with this one over here. But then ooh, wow, she's pigmented. So maybe I should have done the other one. This might be a little too bright for me. I gained 2 pounds, but since I made my video where I did talk about my weight loss video, I think that was back in December. I'm actually, since that video, I'm down 8 pounds. So, I mean, we're still going slow but steady. We're hitting some plateaus. We're, you know, getting stuck a little bit, but for the most part, I've maintained. I haven't really gained, and I'm really proud of myself. And I plan on doing a more in-depth video. Oh my God, I look like a clown. I plan on doing a more in-depth video. Oh my God. Hang on a minute. I put too much on, but it's pretty, it's pigmented. She really came through. So yeah, so I'm really proud of myself. I've been working hard. I'm still going to the gym just about 3 days a week. Trigger warning to those who don't want to hear about weight loss and scale numbers and stuff. My eating habits have changed some. I'm not being as strict with my calorie counting as I was before. And I'm not here to recommend to people to calorie count or put themselves in a calorie deficit. That is what worked for me, but I'm not going to sit here and encourage you to do so. I'm not as strict on my calorie counting right now. I'm kind of thinking of going back to being a little bit more strict and readjusting my calorie intake. Overall though, I'm really proud of myself, like I said, and I just continue to tell myself that. I think my mindset this go around is what's helped me stay consistent and keep the weight off. The highest weight I ever was not being pregnant was 172 pounds. And I hit that in April of 2022. And then by August, I was down to 168 pounds. And I lost those 8 pounds from August to October. And then I found out I was pregnant, so I wasn't planning on losing any more weight after that. And then after I had my daughter and I was breastfeeding, I think that did help. I was breastfeeding for 4 months straight, and I think that did kind of help my weight loss journey to start, because in October of 2023 is when I started going to the gym and actually focusing more on eating better and losing weight. I started documenting it. By September 27th of 2023, I hit 147.6 pounds, and that's when I started documenting it. It was September 27th. I surpassed my pre-pregnancy weight, which again was 160 pounds. And then my weight at the beginning of just trying to adjust everything did go back up. The highest I hit was 150. And then from there, it just gradually went down. And now I'm at 135 pounds. And I'm actually smaller than I was when I got married in 2017. I was 145. I passed that. I do have a goal weight. I want to hit 130. I'm right there. My first goal weight was 135. My second goal weight is 130. And even if I don't really get there and I just maintain around 135, I think I'll be happy with that. I think more of it's just proving to myself that I can, because all the previous years that I tried and I gave up, I just assumed that I couldn't. For the most part, my energy's great. I feel good. I'm in smaller clothes, and that's not so much what it's about, really. I did something that I thought I could never do, and I feel great. Oh, another thing that I was going to mention is I've been reading. I've actually been reading this year. I did go to a bookstore called McKay's. They sell like books, games, movies, things like that. We have one in Nashville. There's another one in Chattanooga. But I went last year for the first time with my sister, and just something about it just sparked something in me to want to read again. I personally didn't enjoy reading when I was younger, especially in school. Coming out of school, there was just pressure on me that I needed to read. And then in 2017, I picked up a few books and I read them, and then I just stopped and I hadn't touched any more since. And then this past December, I re-downloaded a book. I have a Kindle. It was called The Weekenders by Mary Kay Andrews, I believe. Then in January, I started the Persephone and Hades saga, or series, whatever you call it. That was so good. I finished that 6th book and I was literally in like mourning. I was so sad. I cried when I finished it. It is spicy. It's pretty spicy. So if you're not into that, I wouldn't recommend it, but they were just so well written. But another set of books I read was, I think it was called Dirty Billionaire or something like that. That was a good little trio set. Again, spicy. Another one I read was a mafia love story. That one was pretty spicy too. I think there was 3 books to that, but each book had a different storyline with different characters. Some of the characters were mentioned in like the first book, but I wasn't interested in their stories. I just enjoyed the first one and moved on. Then I started my Riley Page murder mystery novels again, and I'm on the 10th book. I actually started reading the first 4 books to that series back in 2017. That was the set of books I was reading. I stopped mid 4th book and I just didn't finish it. And I even bought those books too through my Kindle. I just never finished it for whatever reason. I just picked them back up. They're so good. They're not overly explicit with anything. Like, there's really no sexual references in there. So the murder details aren't really that graphic either. They're so good, and just they literally keep you on the edge of your seat. So another one I read was called Witchy Reservations. I don't know how many books are in that one specifically, but there's more books than just this one. It's kind of like a cozy, I think it was also listed under cozy mysteries or something like that for the Stuff Your Kindle Day. I've done a few of those. I think that's about all the books I've read. I've read about 22 books so far this year, which may not seem like a lot to some of you, but to me that's quite a bit. The lashes I'm going to be using are by Makeup Geek, the Graceful False Lashes. I wish I had got more of these. I don't think you can buy them anymore. I think her store's like shut down now. I actually did stock up on some of her single shadows and put them in a palette, and I've yet to play with them. And I think that I bought those 2 years ago. Like, I can't even tell you how much makeup I've bought and I didn't even really play with, maybe one time. So many palettes especially, and just like, it almost overwhelms me at how much makeup I have that I haven't played with. because it's just too much for me to play with and use, especially because I don't use makeup on a regular basis. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I don't really make time or have time to film anymore, so I can't justify buying so much makeup anymore. Sometimes I think about doing BoxyCharm again, or Ipsy, whatever it's called now, but I just get overwhelmed with the thought of receiving makeup that's just gonna sit there, because not everything I would receive I would use. A lot of them would sit there and go to waste because I had nobody to give it to. I felt bad because I did opt for less skincare, but for whatever reason I was always receiving 1 to 2 pieces of skincare a box, and I was receiving makeup that I wasn't able to use or didn't want to use. I haven't really bought any makeup. Like, I got these 2 items that I just showed you. I got those for Mother's Day. The most recent purchase of makeup I used from a gift card that my husband got me. I bought some drugstore foundation. I did buy the Tarte concealer. I did buy the Laura Mercier powder, which this stuff is amazing. I don't know why I didn't try it sooner. And I think I bought some eyelash glue. And that's literally what that gift card covered. And that's literally the first amount of makeup I've bought since like the beginning of the year, maybe before that. I haven't been as into makeup as I used to be. I don't know, I'm just in this weird mood and era where I just don't want clutter, and the more makeup I have just feels like more clutter to me. I don't want a lot of stuff on my dresser. I don't want a lot of stuff on my desk. My kids' room, like, everything fits. Like, they have a lot of toys, but it's not because we bought them, it's what they get at their birthday. And again, just right now everything fits, and anything more than that would just stress me out. Yeah, it's just, this is the second small house that we've had, and it's just, it gets cluttered so easily. Last year I did have to buy a smaller Christmas tree because our other one was too tall. I had to buy a 6.5 foot. These ceilings in this house are 7 feet 4 inches or something like that. I love to decorate for fall and Christmas. Like, pretty soon with fall coming up, I am planning a girls game night. I'm so excited. I'm gonna have all the food, the desserts. I hope it's fun, and if it is fun, I'm gonna do one for Christmas. I'm just really excited, like a kids free night with games and food and fall ambiance on the TV in the background. And I don't know, I just bought some fall sweatshirts and stuff off Etsy. Whenever the rest come in, I do plan on doing a little fall haul from Etsy, so stay tuned for that. That'll probably be within the next month, probably sometime mid-August. I think this is it. This is all I really have to talk about, all that I was able to come up with. I'm literally about to take this all off. It's 10:20 right now. It's been a good day. It's been a productive day. And I'm so glad I came back on here and just did a little chit chat with you guys. I hope you enjoyed. And thank you to my new subscribers. Over the last like month and a half, I've gained more subscribers, and I really appreciate it. It may not seem like a lot to people, but we're at 407 subscribers right now, and I just really appreciate it. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch me and hear what I have to ramble about, and hopefully we can do this again soon. Everything I use will be linked down below, shades and all, and I guess where you can find them if they're still available. I don't know, but I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.